check out Hillary Clinton's little hand sign right there. I think she might be taking up after somebody. And I'm talking about more than just Hitler's hand sign. Right here, this clip. Clinton talks about adult camps and how she thinks people belong in camps.
As I have gotten older, I have decided we really need camps for adults. And we need the kind of camps that you all run. I mean, really, you know, you can have the red cabin, the blue cabin, have to come together and actually listen to each other. Wouldn't that be a novel idea? Dialogue opportunity, which I would like to see more of in our country.
And she closes her endorsement for work, labor, internment camps with the same hand sign that we saw at the very beginning. As shown in this picture, Hitler's doing the same. And he's not the only example of someone doing that hand sign. Right here we see Haile Selassie doing it. This dude. George Norrie. Angela Merkel. Coincidentally, the Chancellor of Germany currently. Rupert Murdoch. Tosh.0 always does this. Now I want to go ahead and share more on those camps related to what we see in the Hollywood industry, TV, brainwashing programs. But first I want to share this La Chapelle Studios, a professional photographer at a high caliber where he only works with Illuminati puppets and mainstream Hollywood celebrities and mainstream music celebrities. It's like the who's who of the Illuminati industry, including presidential candidate and hopeful Hillary Clinton. Took this photo session right here. So our presidential hopeful Hillary Clinton, for some reason, sports this demonic looking eye in her left eye in this photo shoot by world-renowned La Chapelle Studio, who surely is at a level of professionalism where he pays attention to every detail within his photo shoot, including the rotten apple on the desk and, of course, the demonic eye. What's going on with that eye? The use of radio was perhaps Goebbels' greatest success because it offered the Nazis access to the homes of ordinary people, whose Joseph Goebbels, became Adolf Hitler's propaganda minister in 1933, which gave him power over all German radio, press, cinema, and theater. You gotta understand that back in the day, radio, cinema, theater, that was just like today's television set. It's in every living room, in every household across the nation. In March 1933, he told controllers of German radio, "I consider radio to be the most crucial instrument that exists for influencing the masses." Another weapon of mass deception before the television screen. He ordered the mass production of cheap radios so that by 1939, about 70% of German homes had a radio. So back in the day, radios was popping. These radios were called the People's Receiver. They could not pick up foreign broadcasts. Here's mainstream news coverage of President Obama trying to get FCC to okay a new emergency alert system to where he can override all televisions across the nation under the name of a national emergency, and the FCC is supporting this idea. Let's take a look.
Everyone in our country with just the flip of a switch. Today, the FCC will propose an overhaul to the emergency alert system. The president would be able to appear on every television channel immediately. Well, right now, the president, if he wants to address the nation, has to get in touch with each local broadcaster, and they have to agree to pick up the message. The new system will cost between $7 and $13 million, so they wouldn't have to ask. We wouldn't have to agree to it. It just gets put up whenever he wants it.
So if he wants to talk about immigration reform, he just flips the switch and he's on all the channels, including the Food Network?
If it's considered an emergency, yes.
So this was July 16th, 2014. Now fast forward to December 7th, 2015, shortly after some staged shootings that they've been doing, namely San Bernardino's.
The Department of Homeland Security says it will be modifying the way it warns Americans about terror threats. The agency's decision to change the terror alert system comes as the U.S. faces what President Obama called a new phase of terrorism.
Now, the changes are all aimed at better communicating threats to the American public. CBS News Justice and Homeland Security correspondent Jeff Pegues is in Washington with more on this. Thanks for being with us, Jeff. What do we know about the changes to come, and how soon can we expect them to be rolled out?
Well, DHS is saying in the near future. We can't pin them down to anything more definitive than that at this point. They say there are still details of this modification to the current system that they're working on. So it is not expected to happen this week, but perhaps next week, that according to a DHS official.
Jeff, we really used the same system since the 2011 terror attacks. It's never issued an alert since then. Can you explain the problems with the current system?
Well, after 9/11, you know, we all remember the color-coded system, and that was scrapped in 2011. But the current system, which has been in place since 2011, has not been used. And the reason why is that the threshold for that system is what some people consider high, in that you need a specific or credible threat to have the system triggered.
This new emergency alert system reminded me of this Hunger Games scene in Mockingjay Part 2. Capitol calls his mansion a sanctuary for all the refugees.
To all Capitol citizens more than a half-mile outside the city circle, I am announcing a mandatory evacuation. Come to the mansion. I am promising you shelter and sanctuary. I am promising you shelter and sanctuary. I am promising you shelter and sanctuary. All refugees, come to my home. There you will be provided with food, medicine, safety for your children. You will have my solemn oath to protect you.
As we've seen before, I think this is nothing more than predictive programming in a popular movie that most people have seen. It's programming what they're going to do, forecasting these FEMA camps as sanctuaries, as they've done in other popular television shows, which I'll go over right after this. You see lines of people lining up, walking toward the entrance like cattle. They promoted the sanctuary as a place of shelter, food, safety, when for those who are in need, facing danger outside of this camp, this sanctuary. I think that this is exactly what they're going to do later in the future, whenever they do enact all these camps that they've already set up, that they already have all kinds of employees on the payroll, but they're just empty. These empty institutions.
So as you can see right there, they're being divided. Some are going right, some are going left.
Bring your children forward. The children will be received first. Stay calm. Bring your children forward. The gates will open momentarily.
And another example of predictive programming that we see on our television screen in our living rooms is this show, The Walking Dead, where they have a terminus, which is known as the safe haven that they refer to as a sanctuary. And we come to find out that it's far from what we think of as safe in the show. Spoiler alert. But we see several instances where the characters in the show come across a sign. It says sanctuary for a community for all the survivors, people that survived. And it definitely feels like they've been pushing this survival movement.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what it is. It's a lie. Ain't no sanctuary for all. He's gonna welcome guys like you and me with open arms.
So is that where we're headed?
There's people out there surviving with nothing in this post-apocalyptic world. Even the reality TV show Survivor, you can go back saying it started then, but it definitely is prevalent in shows.
When we were out on the run to the veterinary college, we heard a message about this on the radio.
They were broadcasting? What did it say?
Couldn't make it out. I only know because I'm seeing it now. Those who arrive survive.
We should go. I thought we were looking for Glenn. If he saw one of these, he would go looking for me, looking for him. Look at this map. All these tracks from different directions leading to the same place. It's far, and we don't know if there are other signs. You don't think this is the only one?
This is the best lead we've had so far. It says sanctuary. That's just another reason to try.
I thought it was interesting that in The Walking Dead they have this place called the Sanctuary that they refer to as a sanctuary called Terminus. And the word terminus means the end. And you come to find out what's really at the sanctuary known as Terminus.
Be not so sorry what you've done. You must forget them now. When you wake up, you'll find that you can run. Be not someone watches you. Be not so fearful, be not so pale. Be not so sorry for what you've done. It's done. And when you wake up, you'll find that you can run for what you've done.
Hi, I'm Mary. Looks like you've been on the road a while. Let's get you settled and we'll make you a plate.
When they finally arrive at Terminus' sanctuary, they come to find out the horrors and realities of it, that they're carnivores and they cut people's bodies up into little pieces and eat them like cannibals.
We brought him here. We were trying to do something good. We were being human beings. What are we now, Garrett?
I think this is Hollywood's way of just giving us a heads up. Yet again, another predictive programming head up to the future. Art mimics reality.
They seem
art
honest
mimics
enough.
As I have gotten older, I have decided we really need camps for adults. And we need the kind of camps that you all run. I mean, really, you know, you can have the red cabin, the blue cabin, have to come together and actually listen to each other. Wouldn't that be a novel idea? Dialogue opportunity, which I would like to see more of in our country.
Jesus for the cleansing power. Are you washed in the blood?